so many people dislike her? Why do the black people call her a traitor? Just the way they call Karen a whistleblower. Candace is known as a traitor, as someone who betrays the race. But I'll tell you all about her now. She's known for her controversial views, a pundit whose anti-Semitic rhetorics annoy people and cause so much uproar that New Zealand and Australia have refused to grant her visa for her speaking tour that is supposed to come up in January and February of 2025. About her early life, Candace is number 3 of 4 children. She was raised by a single parent. After her parents divorced when she was like 11 years old, her mother and her grandparents helped raise her up. What you may not know is that in 2007, this teenager at the age of 17 received 3 racist death threats via voicemail. They were like 2 minutes long, but the hate message was sent by a group of white male classmates of hers, and one of them was a son of a mayor at the time. The father later became a governor under the Democratic ticket. When the superintendent of that school heard the message, he said it was horrendous. The Owens family sued the Stanford Board of Education in a federal court, and they won the lawsuits because they felt like her rights were not protected. In 2008, they received a settlement for the amount of $37,500. Perhaps having experienced firsthand a taste of injustice and racial discrimination, she decided to pursue a career in journalism, and she enrolled at the University of Rhode Island. Unfortunately, Owens dropped out of the school due to student loan issues, but she found her way also again into the media industry as an intern with the prestigious Vogue magazine, where she worked in 2012. After that, she went into administration and worked for a private equity company, where she rose in that same company to become a vice president. Owen had not always been a Republican. She was a staunch Democrat at one time. And in 2015, she set up a marketing consultation agency called Degree 180. She also used it to blog. In one of her write-ups, she wrote about the batshit crazy antics of the Republican Tea Party. And in that article, she said that she hopes that they will eventually die off peacefully in their sleep, and that after that happens, that she hopes that we can get right on with obvious social change that is needed, that needs to happen immediately. She even featured in that blog a caricature of Donald Trump's private part. She did. She disliked Republicans so much. What then triggered the move from the left wing to the right wing? What triggered the move from progressiveness to conservatism? Well, it happened in 2016 when she briefly started a website called socialautopsy.com, a website she hoped would clamp down on and expose internet bullies by tracking their digital footprints. However, her proposal was met with a huge opposition, and people hated that. They said that she was trying to infringe on their freedom of expression and also violating privacy. They also thought that this would cause retaliatory harassment from other people, and they clamped down hard on her, and they began to also write a lot of things to expose all her private business. Needless to say, that website, Social Autopsy, never saw the light of day. I don't know whether it was because of that name, autopsy, but it never became a thing. So, and she was really upset because even the progressives and the conservative, they all agreed that it was not a good idea. So Candace was more mad at the Democrats for pushing out her private business out there, and she eventually got some sympathy from some conservative rights political commentators like Milo Yiannopoulos and Mike Cernovich. I hope I pronounced that name right, but this became, the beginning of a romance and a courtship that lured Candace from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. And in 2017, she openly declared that she became a conservative overnight.